Welcome to Costa Rica. I went to Costa Rica for a weekend with two of my girlfriends to celebrate their birthdays, and boy do I wish I had more time in this country. We flew into San Jose and got picked up by her friend who drove us to the resort we stayed at, Baldi Hot Springs, which is about a 2.5 hour drive from the airport. Why did we opt to stay in this area by the great Volcanoes rather than on the beach somewhere? Well, Baldi Hot Springs happens to be home to the largest hot springs in the world. Literally, this hotel is a dream come true and will have you as an adult feel like you're a kid all over again. They have 25 natural hot springs built into the resort, sprinkled around the property. There's all of these cool nooks and crannies with the pools where it's like built in around the resort, and you can swim up to the bars, swim under bridges, swim under waterfalls. I loved it. It made me want to play adult hide and seek. This would be a really, really good hotel for that. The pools are filled up by these crystalline waterfalls. So it's incredibly natural, incredibly clean. My friends and I even saw the staff every night. They empty one of the 25 pools and all of the workers go and literally hands and knees scrub the entire pool clean. It's like super impressive establishment that they have here. And major plus here for all of you nighttime junkies when it comes to wanting to swim under the moonlight, they dedicate each night one of the 25 hot springs to be open 24 hours. So you don't have to go back to the hotel room like most hotels where the pool hours are usually closed by like 9, 10, 11 p.m. Baldi Hot Springs actually offers for you to stay open all night in one pool, and they cycle between which pool stays open all night. There's also a kids park if you do want to bring your kids. There's a lot of water slides and a dedicated pool area for them to play. And there's adult water slides, which are really intense. I actually totally lost my GoPro for like a good 5 minutes after going down the high-speed water slide there. It flew off my head and took me a while to find it, but eventually did. And yeah, the water's just so warm and beautiful. If you've ever experienced hot springs, it's like the perfect getaway for a couples retreat or, like I said, a girls weekend. What we did, you will not regret hanging out in this hotel and you will never be bored. There's also a sauna. Yeah, I forgot to mention, there's like this enclosed cave that has the natural steam and waterfalls in it where you can stand in there and break a good sweat, which is also nice. And there's cold plunges, so you can go back and forth from a cold plunge into the hot springs. There's also 2 restaurants on the property. One of them is the main restaurant that has a breakfast buffet. You can have your own scrambled eggs made in the morning, and all of the food was just delicious. And the other is the Italian restaurant, which I believe is a buffet style in the back of the resort. The rooms, also super nice. I had a nice balcony overlooking the kids park, and it was super accommodating with the staff and all of the employees there as well. So as much as I would have loved to just hang out in this hotel all weekend because it was that beautiful, and I literally would have had so much fun just laying in the pools and lounging in the water alone, you know, my girlfriends were not gonna let that happen. So we had a lot of activities packed into one weekend. There's so much to do around this area. Like I said, it's actually home to 2 famous volcanoes, and it's located in the town of Fortuna, which is a small town literally right underneath the volcano. You can see the volcano when the sky is clear. It's like so beautiful. You feel very close to nature in this area of Costa Rica. So we went hiking. Nearby there was this amazing park with all of these long, scary bridges. I'm sure they were safe. My friend kept rocking the bridge and scaring me, so it was scary to me. But great place to look out at the scenery and get photos. And just up the road from Baldi Springs was the Arenal Zip-lining attraction. attraction, which if you go to Costa Rica, you gotta go zip lining. It did not disappoint. Here's footage of me literally having the time of my life on the zip line, enjoying my new GoPro. And during our time on the tour, they decided to stop us and say, hey, we're gonna do something special for your group. We're gonna have you jump off this ledge. And I was like, no way am I doing that. But I saw my friends go and I was like, okay, I gotta do it. So I went for it. Actually ended up being probably the highlight of my whole weekend, was just that one jump alone. So super cool. Definitely recommend Arenal for ziplining if you are going to this area and you want some fun and you're an adrenaline junkie. This was a really good time. And we also went horseback riding. Can't go to Costa Rica without enjoying the beautiful horses. They walked us all around. It was a very long ride and it was raining, but you know, a little bit of rain is not gonna let us down. We wore ponchos and we had a great time regardless. One thing that I noticed about Costa Rica is it's definitely a big country for tourism, so everyone there is super accommodating and friendly. I would say culturally the biggest shock for me was just how slow things move in Costa Rica. Like, that was super wake-up call for me, is to realize, you know, just how much people from this part of the world take for granted how present they are. Like, I realized so much of my impatience while in Costa Rica. It was like our tour guide was taking forever. Everyone was so slow. I was like, come on, let's go, let's go. But then it kind of got me to question myself and be like, well, why am I so go, go, go all the time? Like, really, what is the rush other than like, at some point we're gonna have to get back to the airport. What's the rush, Shay, you know? But I think I'm just so used to being raised in America where we're taught not to waste time and to like pack everything in as much as you can. And it was triggering for me, a lot of the locals, how slow they moved. But by the end of the weekend, I actually found myself like very jealous of them. Like, wow, they're actually just like being present, Shay, which you've like spent a fortune on healers and all of these like spiritual practices in the United States trying to figure out how to quiet your mind. So that's definitely something to think about. One example, not to like totally expose myself as like a selfish asshole, but there was traffic in the road one day. And you know, it's Costa Rica, so it's very rural here, right? Like, there's not a ton around. And our driver stopped and there was this long row of cars and I was like, oh my gosh, what's this? And the roads are only one lane each way. So it was completely backed up on this side, completely backed up on this side. I could see hills and hills down the road, like there was a block. And I'm like thinking to myself, if there's only one lane, how are we ever gonna get out of this? And then a cop drove by, pulls up to the scene. I'm like, okay, things are happening. Like, come on, like, let's go. I like wanna get back to the hotel and like rush, right? Like, my impatience. And it was so fascinating because the driver, who was Costa Rican, Mauricio, who I loved so much, he was so sweet. Like, as soon as he recognized that we were gonna be stuck in traffic and that something down the road must have happened, his first reaction was, oh my gosh, I hope everyone is okay. And I was like, wow, like, he's so sweet. I can't believe like my initial first reaction was just like selfish and like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. We're gonna be stuck on this tiny rural road forever. Like, I wanna get home, not even thinking about like who's actually impacted in this situation on the road. And it was just beautiful. I learned a lot about myself from the locals. They were just a joy to be around. By the end of the weekend, I was sad to go home. We ate out a lot. We went into the town and ate at local restaurants. Coffee was amazing, classic, does not disappoint. But yeah, ultimately I would say the biggest lesson being there and spending time in that rural, slowed down way of life and culture was just learning the way that we are programmed in the United States to be impatient. And that impatience can also lead to a lot of self-centeredness, a lot of just not seeing the bigger picture of life and just breathing and feeling your heartbeat and being here now. Pura vida, which, by the way, if you go to Costa Rica, you will also hear them say pura vida like 500 times all the time. That's their slogan. And I believe it just means something of the sorts of enjoy life. Life is now. It's all good. So thank you guys so much. That was my one weekend in Costa Rica. Fortuna, really enjoyed the volcano, the views, Baldi Hot Springs water park. Oh my gosh, you guys have to stay there. Highly recommend. I will definitely be back to this country. And enjoying the coast next time to check out some of these beaches. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, drop a comment below, and smash that notification bell. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thanks.